So here's the next part of our discussion. Put it off and off and off, and then I read it, and it's my life off the page.
Right. That's what I was trying to tell you. Like when I
Yeah,
read it, I was
yeah,
like, wow. Like someone recommended. I've actually read it twice, and I'm going to read it again because
yeah,
it's so deep
yeah.
resonated.
And so Alison was talking about the fact that, well, I mean, I won't take her steam away from her. Alison, carry on with the reason that you ended up in a car.
Yeah, so when my fiance, locked me out of the house, and then I went to live with my mom, and she locked me out of the house. My father was in full alcoholism. I really believed that I had nowhere to go. And I didn't know, like at 19, even though I was in college and had heard about shelters and things like that, I really thought that you had to show up with like a broken body to get into a shelter. So I'm like, they're not gonna let me. And the reason that a shelter was so important is because people don't understand that Georgia in the United States, it gets cold here.
Right.
People think, oh, it's the South.
No, it does. It gets very colder.
It's very cold. And so if you Google it, you will see that the winter that I was living in my car was the coldest winter in history
Oh,
in Georgia. It was like 11 degrees below zero actual temperature, 7 degrees below zero actual temperature. And so I was, when I got home and I couldn't get into my childhood home because my mother had changed the locks on the doors, I beat on the door until literally I was bleeding, trying to, and then I just realized that she wasn't asleep. This was like on purpose. Like she had done this on purpose. So I went back to my car, which was a 1978 Volkswagen Beetle.
very nice.
And I was sitting in my driveway, and I was just like, I just started screaming at God, and I'm like, I don't understand. Like, I don't understand this feeling inside of me that is like, carry out this pregnancy, like stay pregnant, when I am being put in these situations where I am literally not safe. Like, I don't understand what's happening. And after I was screaming and literally like lost my voice and was just sitting in my car, I just heard this voice say, go back to campus, go to the garage, because there was a parking garage that's not there anymore, but it's where I parked my car. Go back to the parking garage, go to the basement of the garage, find the warmest corner, and just go to sleep. And so that's what I did. And I did that for 3 weeks until a substitute professor that had stepped in for our psych teacher found me living in my car, and he and his wife like took me in, and then that began the journey of like, I am literally not in a place to be a parent right now.
Yeah.
But I did, I'm so proud of the process though, because at the time, adoption was closed in Georgia, meaning that as soon as my son was born, they were going to just immediately take him from me, and I was never going to see him again. And the parents knew absolutely nothing about me, and I knew nothing about them. And I like put my foot down. You can read it in my story, The Spiritual Journey, that's on Amazon. But I put my foot down, and I was one of the first birth mothers in Georgia to ever spend time with her child.
Wow.
After born, so he roomed in with me.
How long did you get?
3 days.
3 days. Rachel, how did your awareness of being adopted come about?
It was pretty, it's actually funny because I'm, obviously my family being Caucasian, I was like, I think my mom said I was like 2 or something, and it was very innocent. I'm like, why are you white?
Come back for the next part of this discussion.